This is the audio recording for the text structure quiz. Directions. Read each of the passages below and identify the text structure. Choose the structure listed below that best describes the text structure of the passage. You may use each answer more than once. First, I'd like you to pick your class period. Then please put your first name and last name. At any time during this recording, you may pause it, you can go back, or you could go on to the next question. Shortly after the Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4, 1776, the Continental Congress gave Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams the job of designing an official seal for the new nation. In mid-June 1782, the work of all three committees was handed over to Charles Thomson. Thomson recommended that the small white eagle used in an earlier design be replaced with an American bald eagle, and Congress adopted this design on July 20th, 1782. Is this text structure order sequence, cause and effect, problem and solution, chronological? Many bald eagles were killed by pesticides and illegal hunting. Because of this, they were in danger of becoming extinct. Is this description, order sequence, cause and effect, problem and solution? Bald eagle species were declining and threatened with extinction. To solve the bald eagle's decreasing numbers, scientists began taking wild bird eggs to raise in captivity in order to help the bald eagle survive. Is this cause and effect, problem and solution, compare and contrast, argumentative? Would it surprise you to learn that corn is also a type of grass? Corn was first grown in Central America thousands of years ago. Its seeds are called kernels. Very few kernels grew on wild corn grass. It took thousands of years of choosing the corn grass plants with the biggest seeds or kernels to make what we enjoy today as corn on the cob. Is this description, cause and effect, problem and solution, chronological? First, the photographer walks through the area to get a good look at the crime scene. Second, the photographer discusses what needs to be photographed in detail with the investigating officers. Third, mid-range photos are taken, focusing on the position of items considered as evidence. Is this description, order sequence, cause and effect, chronological? In our state, dams have been built on many rivers. These dams are used to produce electricity, but unfortunately they cause problems because they damage wildlife. To preserve our wildlife, we can instead use solar energy or energy from the sun to produce electricity. Wind power can also be another solution and a good source of electricity that doesn't damage wildlife. Is this order sequence, cause and effect, problem and solution, or argumentative? What are the two most common eye colors? If you answered blue and brown, you are correct. Blue and brown eyes both have a colored portion known as the iris. They also have a dark center, which is known as the pupil. However, the iris of brown-eyed people contains more pigment than the iris of blue-eyed people. For this reason, blue-eyed people tend to be more sensitive to bright light. Is this description, cause and effect, compare and contrast, or argumentative? The butterfly develops through a process of stages known as metamorphosis. First, the journey begins as an egg. The egg hatches and a caterpillar emerges. The caterpillar eats constantly until it is full grown. Then it begins the next stage called the pupa, or transition stage. During this time, the pupa is protected in a cocoon of silk. Finally, when ready, a butterfly bursts from the cocoon and the metamorphosis is complete. Is this description, order sequence, compare and contrast, or chronological? People unfamiliar with dog breeds might confuse the Alaskan Malamute with the Siberian Husky, but they're not identical in appearance. The Husky's head is more refined and narrower than the Malamute, and his gait more effortless. Although both breeds are sled dogs, the Malamute was developed as a freight animal, reflected in his larger, stronger build. Is this description, cause and effect, compare and contrast, argumentative? Many kids these days drink so called energy drinks. Many kids do not think these drinks are bad for them, but it turns out they really are. Energy drinks should be banned for kids. Dr. Nicole Caldwell, assistant professor of pediatrics, states that despite the fact that no FDA caffeine guideline exists for young people, that the drinks could cause harm. Some say that the drinks just help them keep alert in class. But as Ann Myers, a dietitian, states, the extreme amount of caffeine in these drinks can cause high blood pressure, anxiety, and lack of sleep, the last being the very thing that young people drink these things for. Is this description, cause and effect, or argumentative? Please check over all your answers, and when you feel you've done the best you can, click the submit button.